Hello and welcome to another battle report. This was filmed the same day as my previous report, so I played the same list against a different opponent. Um, yeah, not too much to say about that. My opponent brought a Space Marine list with the White Scars chapter trait, make the bikes scoring and make them much faster. Melta, multi-melta for the bikes, two dreads, one of them is a siege dread, ironclad. Terminators did not have a missile launcher, but they were there. And then there was the Thunderhawk and the Storm Talon escorting, and a plasma unit in the drop pod. He did have two other drop pods as well. He borrowed. That's the story of my life right there. Initiative stolen. Um, he only deployed one unit on the board, which was interesting on turn one. He's got a Chapter Master with a Thunderhammer, Shield Eternal on a bike, and that's a multi-melta squad there. We're playing BAO Mission 4, the Scouring. So you saw one of the Objective 1s, one of the Objective 2s was there. I scouted my Warwalkers up in the building because I got the best Warlord trait for this table, which was Stealth Ruins, which also gives move through cover for ruins. I deployed my Shadow Weavers there on the bottom, close enough to either claim Objective 3 or to claim Objective 1, depending on what they needed to. Kept my Wave Serpents tight, put the bikes behind them to try to deny a drop pod from dropping in there. Stuffed my Autarch into the ruins too for a cover save, and deployed my Wraith Knight on the third floor like a boss. That's the end of the top of turn one. White Scars ignore everything, of course, so they moved up, shot at the jet bikes, killed two of them, but I made my morale check, which was good for me. The Ironclad dropped down almost mishapped. Amazing, just like as tight as you can be on the board and be there. Flamed one of the guys out of the artillery unit there. He had the objective to destroy a unit and to hold either objective 2, which he looked like he was pretty solid in doing. Did not hurt my Autarch at all on turn 1. So that's the bottom of turn 1. Everything went Eldar way. Wraith Knight took out the objective secured drop pod. Between the Autarch and Wave Serpent, they took out the Dreadnought that was there. I turbo boosted those bikes just down the table so they'd be ready to hold backfield objectives, get line breaker. Really, really unfortunate saves for the bikes. They took fire from the Shadow Weavers and from one of the Wave Serpents that dropped its shield and shot right through the first floor of the building. And they failed the morale check, which means they pulled off of that objective 2 there, which means that at the end of turn 1, I scored both of my points, and actually he scored none of them, which was rough. The Warwalkers just turned around, managed to take a hull point off of the Ironclad there. And otherwise, things are immediately looking up as far as the secondary goes. That's the Wave Serpent that helped break the bikes. That's the end of the top of turn 2. The big news there is that the bike squad failed, I think it was like a 6-inch charge into the Wraith Knight, left him hanging pretty high and dry. Only the Terminators came in. The other drop pod didn't come in with the plasma, and the Storm Raven and the Storm Talon didn't come in either. You see that the Wave Serpent jinked over there and actually didn't get a single pen or glance from those guys. It was really disappointing. Here was a foregone conclusion. The Ironclad easily assaulted and stomped face. His tactical was to hold objective 1 and destroy a unit, so he's pretty much guaranteed of getting that unless I can destroy the Ironclad in my turn, but I'm definitely going to go do a number on his bikes. That's the end of the bottom of turn 2. The Autarch is awesome for reserves manipulation. Everything came in. The Hornet and the Warwalkers combined to wreck the Ironclad, even though it had a 2 on it, it was wrecked over there. Everybody there disembarked, had fun shooting at Terminators, including the jet bike on the top floor and the Wave Serpent. Let's see. In other news, this Hornet here, the other jet bike unit, the Wraith Knight, the Autark, and the Warp Spiders all shot the bike unit all the heck. But the multi-melta was still up, and on Overwatch actually put a hit on my Autark. I decided to charge in first with him because I thought that I still had that 2-up rerollable, but I don't, because you have to declare a Jinx. So it's actually a 4-up rerollable cover save, which isn't that powerful. So then I was like, well, I would like to Jink, and we went back and forth about whether or not that was allowable. We went ahead and did it, but upon further reflection, I don't think you can Jink while you're charging in. I don't think you can Jink versus Overwatch. Got him down to one point, but he managed to stay alive for another round of fighting. That was it. All right, this is the end of the top of turn 3, and actually the end of the game. Called it here because it was just nothing was going the Space Marine way at all. The score was it was impossible to catch up at this point. Storm Raven, Storm Talon did come in. They had the escort thing going on. Took out a Hornet, and also pretty sure they immobilized this Wave Serpent here and took a whole point off of it with a lucky pen, and killed some Guardians too, I think. Over here, drop pod dropped in. Marines got out. The plasma gun guy immediately overheated, failed his save, and died. And the plasma pistol, though, managed to strip a whole point off of the walker. But other than that, nothing was going right for the Space Marines, so we went ahead and called that one. BAO scenario 4, the Scouring, is definitely really interesting and fun to play. There's a lot of good tension, balancing, getting to objectives, getting your opponent off of objectives, things like that. It does have one of the more boring tactical objective charts, though, with half of them being to destroy a unit. So I think it needs more variety there. But otherwise, overall, super fun. Definitely fun to play.